Hi guys, it's Lindsay with High Sierra Legal, and today we're going to talk about what goes into a full estate plan. Some of the prior videos we talked about what is your trust, what is a will, how do we avoid probate, how a will does not avoid probate, that's just a roadmap for the court to follow. And today we're going to kind of go over a little bit of the additional documents that should be included in a full estate plan so you would have everything and your bases covered for pretty much any kind of instance or situation. So I got my notes, so when you see me looking over, I'm looking at my notes because this is, super fun topics to talk about, really dry, boring stuff. But it's informative and we all need to know about it because we want to avoid probate or have our heirs avoid probate because nobody wants to go through that process. So what are the additional documents that we would like to have included into an estate plan? The first one in that is our powers of attorney. Powers of attorney, we have two different kinds. We have a financial power of attorney and we have a medical power of attorney. And I'm going to go over those in a different episode because they can get kind of involved in the components that go into a power of attorney. But we have our financial power of attorney to make financial decisions for ourselves when we are unable to. Say we're in a coma, we're in a car accident, or you can just delegate those wishes to have somebody take care of them for you because A, you're old and don't really want to anymore, or you're like me and you're like, please take care of this stuff for me now because I really don't want to deal with life. Just kidding. So that's a financial power of attorney. And again, I'll go over those a little bit more in a different episode. You have your medical power of attorney, which is for medical decisions, again, while you're alive, but unable to make those decisions for yourself. So powers of attorney live when we live. When we die, they die with us. So always keep that in mind. Next documents are our living will. A living will is not like a typical will like we think about that we went over before. This is our end of life decisions or do not resuscitates, if you will. This is saying that you don't want any kind of heroic measures done for you, that if you, to code, that you don't want to be brought back or anything like that. Next document is our authority of remains. So this gives a person the legal authority to order your disposition and to collect you. So this is giving the authority to have you shipped to the mortuary to order your disposition for either burial or cremation or composting. I've had a client recently who wanted to be composted, which I thought was pretty cool. So you're able to delegate that ability for somebody to go ahead and order that for you. With that, it's important to put that person is able to collect your remains as well if you're going to be cremated. Apparently, I just learned this recently that is an issue. I never really thought that would be an issue, but apparently people fight over dead people's remains. So yeah, let's make sure that doesn't happen. The next one on that is our HIPAA release. So if in the instance that your heirs might need to get your medical records because they need to litigate for you, or there is some questionality about maybe your medical care, you're giving them the ability through your HIPAA release for those medical professionals to provide them with your medical records or your medical history. Also in there is our deed transfer for our properties. We'll go over funding in a different episode, but that's another document that typically goes along because we need to have that documentation to then transfer that real property. So quick, easy, additional documents that should be included in your estate plan: powers of attorney, financial, medical, your living will, which is your end of life decisions, your disposition ordering, so the transferring of your remains and to be able to collect your remains, your HIPAA release, and your deed property or your property deed to record that with the recorder. So there's some estate planning tips and guides for you, and let me know if you have any questions, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook at High Sierra Legal. Thanks so much.